welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is my Is This series where I go through anything to do with social media, using the computer and the internet, anything to do with tech, and also using the Fiverr platform. Now, in today's session, I'll be looking on how to create an SEO friendly gig title. Now, a gig title is part of a gig. There are other things that a gig is comprised of, such as description, gig images, and different things, but we're focusing on the gig title in today's session. Now, SEO friendly, search engine optimization. You want to make sure that you're choosing a gig title that can be found more easily when persons do a search. Now, when you're creating a gig title for the first time, what happens is that whatever you type in the gig title section, a permanent URL is created. So what you can do is that you can include keywords related to your service in this particular gig title. It may not read properly, it may not make sense necessarily, but you're including the important keywords. And then what happens is that when you save this particular section, which is called the overview section, that permanent URL is created. After that, you can go and edit your gig title and make it more readable so that buyers can understand what you are all about. So to make sure that your gig title is SEO friendly, you create it using all the keywords that you can think of related to your service, and then you just edit it after. So let's look and see how we go about doing this. So suppose this particular gig was used for offering logo design services. So you could say, I will, and then here you write best logo design services. And then suppose you're doing a specific type of design. You could say minimalistic. So minimalistic logo design services. All right, so you could create a permanent URL of this. You could also throw in other keywords related to logo design, or if you're going to be doing any particular thing that you want to be embedded in the URL as a permanent URL, you can include those keywords. So what I do, I'll select the category, subcategory that Fiverr suggested. I will also choose the style. Just for these purposes, I'm just going to be choosing, of course, I said minimalistic. And then for file format, let me choose JPEG. So for my search tags, I'm going to have logo design. We're not focusing on these parts. We're focusing on the gig title. But we have to type in all of these things in order to be able to create the permanent URL. So minimalistic. And then I'll put logo designer. You're to have at least 5 search tags. All right, so logo designer, graphic design. How many is that? 4. And let me just put logo, custom logo. All right, so watch what happens up here. That's where you're going to be focusing on. So when I do save and continue, all right, so look what happens. It has created a permanent URL. Don't watch these other parts. What you'll see, it will say fiverr.com/acelala. Then it will have all of this particular part here. So this is a permanent URL. So remember, you want to include as many keywords as possible so that the URL is properly optimized. And then what you would do now, you would go back to the overview section, and then suppose this is what you wanted. You wanted it to say, I will, of course, you want it to read properly. So I will provide professional logo design services. So what you would do now is that you would save this. So save it. Make sure that the new gig title is being displayed. We can just click back to make sure. So I provide professional logo design services. Yes, that's good. But notice that the permanent URL that you created that has the specific keywords that you wanted is still there. So remember, the whole point of this is that you want to make sure that you have an SEO friendly gig title so that your gig can have an additional way of being easily found when a search is done. So if you found this session helpful, remember to comment below, as well as share this with anyone that you think will benefit from this session. Also remember, if you have aced anything with Fiverr yourself, you can share with me so I can ace it too. All right, guys. So also remember to subscribe so that you can be notified when a video is posted. Remember to turn on your post notifications so you do get that notification. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next session. Bye.